tirelessly till the date, and I'm sure you work in coming days for the betterment of education field of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to be here. I'd like to express my appreciation to all of the teachers, friends, and STFT active members who helped STFT to be here, to be in this glorious status, in this remarkable position, and enhancing its name and fame in national as well as international arena of teaching training field. I'm sure we are also reaching out to many new teachers and friends of the globe, not only in our country, Nepal. We are working together with doctors, professors, practitioners, technologists, innovators, business professionals, teachers, teacher trainers, and civil society representatives. I'd like to welcome you all, a warm welcome to you all. Dear colleagues, we all understand the importance of science, technology, and innovation in our day to day lives and the ways in which they are transforming the world. In this situation, and it's clear that technology can help us a lot. If this was not clear earlier, it is blindingly obvious now in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. Science, technology, and innovation are inseparable for our response to and recovery from this crisis. Equally important is our collaboration with facilitators, teachers, and trainers of the world. I like to thank and welcome you all because you have involved in this great effort of STFT Nepal. Our STFT English Subject Committee wants to change the education status and label through multi-stakeholder and multilateral cooperation that we can truly accelerate progress and reduce inequalities or gap in the use of technologies in education, especially in Nepal. STFT alone won't help Nepalese teachers to achieve the goal of this new era. So we want to work with other people, experts, trainers, facilitators, and personals of the world. Equally important are deployment of scientific inventions, innovations, and technological solutions on a scale that will reach to the teachers in Nepal. Podcasting is an important agenda, but the time is limit for us. The time which is available to us is limited. But again, we need to learn to use Anchor for podcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that participating in this webinar, we are in right place and we are in right time. Together, let us accelerate the exchange of ideas and scaling up of good practices. I like to welcome the chief guest, Mr. Naveen Kadel, the STFT Central Committee Vice President, the key speaker, the presenter, special guest, Mr. Brian Akenshia, who is a popular, who is a famous, well-known facilitator, educator, and teacher trainer. I like to welcome Central President Bhupati Basyal, Central Committee Secretary Harihar Dahal, Ghanshyam Adhikari, Army Kasabian, and all other distinguished guests from Nepal and from abroad, and all the participants of this webinar. I like to welcome you all in this webinar. I like to welcome you all in this session. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lakshman sir, for your welcome speech. Now, I would like to request Mr. Sujit Garki sir to present bio of uh, Brand Atencia. Please present the bio of Brand Atencia. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to read the bio of Brian Atencia. Brian Binet de Atencia is a current licensed SSS teacher for First Industrial Science and Technological School at FPIF Batangas. He's teaching English, entrepreneurship, 21st century literature, and contemporary art. He has been in the teaching industry for 5 years, where he started as ESL teacher for an international language company. He's a certified TESOL and TL educator by Australia. He's also a certified MOOC camp facilitator by RELO of the US Embassy in the Philippines. Currently, he's hosting 3 podcasts, which includes inspiring educators on life and movie casts. Now, the time is yours, Brian. Please.
All right. So, good evening to everyone. Is my audio clear, by the way? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, yeah. You are audible,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much. Thank you, Dev. And I'm really overwhelmed with the speech of Laxman. All right. That was really moving. The current situation that we're facing, us educators and all the people around the world should be able to see how important technology nowadays, not just for teaching, but also for communication. And when I was doing the podcast with Sujit, he was really amazing. Actually, just to give credits to him before I start my, my short discussion about Anchor app. When I was talking with Sujit, he was really very informative. Why did I say he was informative? Because he was able to share his thoughts, not just answering the questions that I gave during the podcast, but he was able to expound it. He was able to share the idea of most Nepalese people when it comes to the use of internet. So I'm really overwhelmed right now, and of course, thank you so much to Armin, because without him, I wouldn't be, this advocacy that I have right now. I wouldn't be able to share it to each and everyone, and to all the participants right now here in the Zoom meeting. Thank you for attending, and I hope that you could get some ideas and also to enjoy Anchor app itself. So to start off, my I don't know how should I call this, all right? Because I don't usually call this as a webinar because, like what I mentioned, this is one of my advocacy to share what I learned, to share the ideas that others gave to me. I don't just take it by myself. I share it with others. To those who are really looking for innovation when it comes to teaching. So again, to start off, let me just share some few videos here, because like what Dev mentioned before we begin, he said that most of the Nepalese are not that familiar when it comes to podcasts. So let's have a quick look on what is a podcast. All right, I do apologize if I'm gonna be using a generic video from YouTube, but I guess this is the most easiest way for each and every one of us to understand what really podcast is.
Podcast is simply a piece of audio, a story, or an interview, or a documentary series that you can download and listen to whenever you want. Really exploded in 2014 with the publication of a series called Serial. I definitely understand if someone looking at today, oh man, you got to put the line, it's so coincidental.
Brian, your audio is very low. We cannot hear the audio properly, Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dev. The audio is not audible. You cannot hear it?
Yeah, it is not audible. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's have a look. All right. Give me a second. All right. Do apologize with that one. Okay. Same as. I think I got it in here. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay, it's okay.
All right. Let me just. Okay. Good thing you mentioned it, guys. So,
Still, we cannot hear. You are not audible, sir. That's the problem.
how about this one? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. As I was saying,
We
I was
can hear you.
I wasn't able to click the share sound on Zoom. Sorry about that.
You have to share the sound also.
Yeah.
Share computer sound, yeah?
Yeah, I think
That option is-
this would work. Let's give it another try.
In the last 15
Yeah.
years, podcasts have gone
Working now?
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's working.
Thank you, Dev. Let me just start again the video. Actually, this is a very short video. It will only last for almost 3 minutes. Okay, so let's give it another try, guys. Thank you, Dev.
In the last 15 years, podcasts have gone from mainly a niche market to mainstream. There's a world of info and entertainment for people of all interests. So listen up. We have Podcast 101 on the lowdown.
There are over 500,000 podcasts in existence, but that doesn't mean we all know what they are.
A podcast is simply a piece of audio, a story or an interview or a documentary series that you can download and listen to whenever you want.
Chris Bannon, Chief Content Officer at Stitcher, a podcast app, is here with a lesson on podcasts. First, where did they come from?
Podcasting has been around for more than a decade, but I would say that it became really popular. It exploded in 2014 with the publication of a series called Serial.
I definitely understand that someone could look at this and say, oh man, he must be lying. It's so coincidental.
And since then, there's now something for everyone, from shows about true crime to news.
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This is The Daily.
And from comedy to fantasy.
What's this one's name? Logan. But he goes by another name as well. Wolverine.
Today, as many as 100 million people are listening each month to the 18.5 million available episodes from the 700,000 podcasts out there. But unlike AM/FM radio, podcasts play through apps. So here's how to tune in.
Stitcher has built the first widely available Android app. So if Apple has an app that's built into the iPhone, Spotify is getting into the podcasting business in a big way.
You can listen on your smart device through the app or on a computer from the website.
If you click that little subscribe button, it will make sure to feed you new episodes of the show.
Which leads us to the third part of the lesson. What are some of today's fan favorites?
Right now, I think there's never been more variety in what's popular in podcasting. Dirty John is a series that came out a couple of years ago.
Whether to intimidate people or to impress them with his dark glamour, he bragged frequently about his underworld ties.
This true crime podcast is also a hit series on Bravo.
I'm John.
Like Conan O'Brien, TV talk show. host and comedian, have gotten into podcasting in a big way.
Conan tends to pop his peas every time he says podcast.
Podcast. This makes the engineer crazy.
Oprah, Dr. Phil.
The hardest part is choosing where to start. That's today's lesson in Podcast 101 on The Lowdown.
All right. So that's just a quick intro of what is podcast all about. So you can have your own podcast. You can share your daily activities. You can share ideas about your hobbies. Or you can simply do a podcast to make yourself relax. Nowadays, because of this pandemic situation, we're trying to look for outlets. And me personally, I find that this Anchor app would make me, relax. It would make me not actually forget what's happening around me or around us, but then lessen the stress. I am a teacher, and one of the challenge that we've faced starting March of this year is how are we going to be the students? How are we going to communicate with them? How are we going to be able to share the ideas, the knowledge? That's why as I was attending a webinar hosted by Armen and one of our colleagues named Josh Gastock from the US, they were able to share this application. I've been working before in the BPO industry. BPO industry as what we call here call centers, okay? Those are the companies where we answer the questions of the customers. So most of the time I'm talking. I love talking, okay? I love to share my thoughts, my ideas. And then when this webinar about podcasting was given to us, I took the risk. I took the chance, or how would I say, chance and change, okay? I was able to overcome that mindset that will someone listen to what I'm saying? Will someone listen to the ideas that me and my guests will be sharing? And as day goes by, there's 1, 2, then 10, it becomes 20, it becomes 100. And now I haven't checked my actual podcast if it's more than 1,000 listeners already. But that's not important. What's important with this podcasting that I've started is to share ideas, to let others feel that there are other people who's experiencing it. There are other people who would like to touch base with you, to improve your life as a teacher, as an internet user, and as a movie fan. That's why, as Sujit mentioned a while ago, I have 3 podcasts already. The first one would be the Inspiring Educators, which, as you can see here in my background, I've used this for a few days, all right? Because I've just upgraded my background. Actually, this is just a green screen. And I'm using this background now to promote my podcast itself. In every webinars that I'll be attending, I'm going to be using this just to promote the podcast itself and the beauty of using podcasts. So now, each and everyone is familiar. What is podcast? Now, let's go and talk about this application that I keep on mentioning. Dev, Lexman, and Sujit mentioned Anchor app. What is this Anchor app? Is this the anchor that we're using on the, large ships, the ones that they're putting on the water? Actually, it is somehow related to that because this application is big time. Okay, it serves a big part in the life of educators. Once again, I have here a video. Okay, and then again, apologies if I'm using generic videos. Right, let's get it here. All right, so let me double check everything. Okay, share sound, it's working. All right, let's have a look on what what's this Anchor all about? I have here an ad about Anchor. Okay, I got two ads actually. Let's start with this first one.
Hey, I want to show you how quick and easy it is to make a podcast with the free Anchor app for iOS and Android. Here's how it works. First, record some audio. When you've got all the audio you need, tap the episode button to create your podcast. Pick a name and a photo and you're done. We'll handle everything else for you and we'll let you know when your podcast is up and running. If you've never made a podcast before, no problem. It's literally the easiest way to make one and it's completely free. Download Anchor and give our new podcasting feature a try. You can get the app from the App Store, Google Play, or by visiting anchor.fm. Thanks.
As you see, the ad is really quick. All right, that's how quick you can make a podcast with Anchor app. So I have another ad here. You might, by the way, if you got any questions by the end of this, you could ask me, okay? And don't you worry, because you might question later, you saw Anchor on mobile phone. How are we going to learn it? It's very simple on the mobile phone. What I'm going to be teaching you today is to do it on your computer. Why on the computer? Because you can easily enhance your application or the podcast that you're about to make. Because on the mobile phone, you can use the Anchor app as if it is just a recorder, wherein you're talking to a colleague, you're interviewing something. It acts like a recorder. Let's go with the second video, guys. Okay, once again, it is a very quick video. All right. Now, you are, or I guess most of you might be excited and would like to ask, where are we going to start looking on it? So I'm just going to be sharing to you a Padlet that I made, which is all about Anchor app. Okay, so you may access the actual Padlet that I made, but I'm going to be sharing the screen so that you can see it for yourself. Here you go. All right. So just click the Padlet link that I gave to you and you will see this actual Anchor Padlet page that I've made. All right. So to start off, in the first column, okay, or as I call this, the first shelf, there is the About Anchor. So when you click the About Anchor, it will automatically bring you to the website of anchor.fm. So it talks about what is the mission of Anchor. What does it want to do? What does it want to give to all of us? Not just for the educators, but for each and everyone who's interested in this kind of activity. So as you can see how you do the actual podcast, there is also the history of Anchor and also how you can contact them. So that is the first, apology. I think my my mouse is playing up as well. Give me a second. Okay. Most of my peripherals are playing up. Apologies for this one. Okay, perfect. Let's go back again with the actual Padlet application that I've shared with you. And I've also included here the 2 videos on how to make your Anchor app. And now, there is the link to my 3 podcasts. The first one is the Inspiring Educators, which talks about educators from around the globe. I've interviewed different educators from the United States, from India, from Brazil, from Myanmar, also from my country, from the Philippines. Next, on life. Okay, it talks about the internet life of all my guests, ranging from teenagers to adults and also to the dean or the head of the schools. I've interviewed them. And my third podcast is MovieCast. Okay, movies that makes you. I decided to make this very light podcast episodes because I wanted all my guests to feel that we're touching bases. What do you mean with touching bases, Brian? I wanted to touch their self. Okay, I wanted to touch who they really are. And since I'm a teacher, I wanted to talk to all the teachers from around the globe. Listen to their ideas. How did they become a teacher? How did they face this COVID-19 pandemic? With the internet or the on life, I wanted to know how the internet affected all the people from around the globe. And with the movie cast, of course, this is the most light or the lightest podcast because we're just talking about their movie or their best movie of all time. At the same time, I want to know how does that movie affects their social and emotional life. And on the third shelf, you could see the links where you could listen to my podcast. It's available on Spotify, on Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and I haven't updated this because there are other platforms where the podcast can be played. And on the succeeding shelves, you could see the guest speakers that I have. On this part, I've added the Filipino educators that I've interviewed. And then for inspiring educators, I have here episodes of Armen. Actually, he the main reason that I started podcast is to interview most of them. Okay, so I got episodes with Armen, with Josh, with Dr. Rhodes, another good friend of ours, and she is also a podcaster. All right, I'll be click this link so that you can listen to her TTELT podcast. And also, as you can see here, the on-live guest speakers. You could see here the episode of Sir Sujit Karki. Okay, listen to his episode. He's really fantastic. And also the episodes with the Dean of the College of Computer Studies of the Laguna State Polytechnic University. And also friends from Panama and Egypt. I've also done collaborative podcasts. A good friend of mine from Brazil, James, he really loves podcasting. And also for the movie cast, as you can see here, we got some episodes from them. Okay, just give me a second. I don't know why my mouse is playing up. Do apologize. Okay, there you go. So this movie cast podcast that I got talks about all the best movies that my guest speakers have watched. So we got here The Silence from Netflix, The Dark Knight, Batman. Okay, a movie from Brazil by James. Okay, he loves this movie. It is entitled Tropa de Elite. And a student from Panama, Olmedo Morales, the movie Miracles from Heaven. So you could check all the podcasts that's here in the Padlet that I made. But now let's go and talk about Anchor app. Okay, so for those who are using your desktop or laptop computer, simply go to anchor.fm. Okay, very easy to remember link, anchor.fm. podcast.fm. And you will be brought to this main page. Okay. As you can see, there is the Make Your Podcast. But this would definitely bring, or this would link you to the sign up. Okay. Also, there is the link where you could download the application on your mobile phone, either on your iPhone through the App Store or with Google Play to those who are using Android phone, just like me. I got Android, but I also got an iPhone, but it is more easier to do on an Android. A big Android fan here. Okay, and then on the main page, you could also see some informations about Anchor. While using Anchor, you can also monetize from your podcast. In the actual mobile phone, you could do this editing, but also on the desktop and laptop website, you will have the same features. And the good thing with Anchor app, it is 100% free. And the distribution of your podcast is also for free compared to other means or platforms, such as, when you upload some videos in some websites, there is a limit. But with Anchor, you can make as many podcasts as you wanted. And just like what I mentioned, you can get paid to podcast. Okay, currently it is available in the United States, but they are expanding. Why? Because lots of people are using their application and accessing in their website. That's why they would be expanding the monetization with the podcast. Plus, you would see straightforward analytics about the podcast you're about to make. So later on, you would see a real example of this analytics. And you could express yourself. You could add music. You could add transition sound. You can even add some effects. Okay? So that's how you could express yourself. And there is a quick video at the bottom of the anchor.fm page where how you can make it. You just need to sign up, start recording, publish it, and everyone can hear it. So let's get started, okay? I bet each and everyone would like to see how does it really look like inside the Anchor app. So all you need to do is just to first, if you haven't got any account, okay, you just need to click sign up. It is very easy, as if you're just making your email address, you're creating a Facebook account, you're just going to be entering a full name, your email address, your password, and then tick this reCAPTCHA box, okay, to assure that they're not robot or the user is not robot. And then click sign up. You also have the option if you wish to receive news and offers from Anchor, okay? So since I have an existing Anchor app, I'll be going to the login. So once you have created an account, this is the tab that you're going to be clicking, the login. You can create your own email and password to use, or you can link with your Facebook, with your Gmail or Google Mail, if you got a Twitter account, and with your Apple ID. So since I'm a big fan of Google, I'm going to be using my Gmail account, right? So you'll be brought to the page where you will choose an account. I got multiple accounts here, so I'm just going to be using my main account. Click on that one, and you will be brought to your main page, okay? I call this the main page because you will see here your actual podcast. So now let's start with the dashboard, okay? If you'll click the dashboard, it is the same as you've logged in. The same information, you'll be seeing it in there. So first up, this one at the top, this is just, a compilation of all the podcasts that you made. And because it is uploaded in Spotify, Spotify created one for all the Anchor app podcasters. Okay, well, let me show it to you so that you can see how does it look like. I bet you might be curious. What is that compilation? What is it all about? Well, you have the privilege to see Spotify for Podcasters, the 2020 wrap up. So, this is a summary of how inspiring educators really work. So, let's click, let's do it. Okay, so my podcast has been resonated around the world for 4 countries, meaning there are 4 countries around the world who mostly enjoyed or always listen to the podcast that I have. And I got 499 minutes of content over 22 episodes. So how long is that podcast, right? So let's go on to the fourth. Okay, it's a lovely greeting from Spotify. All right, so they created this summary as a show of gratitude. Okay, as you can see here, I can share this to Facebook, Twitter, to Instagram, or if you have your own website, you can just simply click the URL link. All right, let's go back with the dashboard of Anchor. So as you can see, this is the album art, okay? The picture that I use on every podcast that I have. You can edit this one, including the name of the podcast itself. Mine is Inspiring Educators. So the edit link would be always here, okay? Look at this pen icon. You could also edit the details of your podcast. Let me show it to you. Okay, so this is it. You could edit the name of your podcast, the description, the cover art. You can also edit the category. There are lots of category from arts, business, comedy, education, fiction, government, history, health and fitness, and lots more. So Anchor app is really covering all the genre, all the category of the podcaster. Mine is self-improvement as an educator. And the podcast language, there's all the language for each and every one. All right. So you don't have to worry whether, you're just starting to improve your English skills. But I'm pretty sure that all my guests in here are, masters of this English language. Okay. Each and every one of us really love to use English. And also there are other options. Okay. You could either select clean or explicit content, because there are some podcasts, all right, those episodes that they might be used explicit language. So they can either select a clean podcast or an explicit, because sometimes we might be able to talk explicit words. So to assure the listeners that, oh, there's an explicit, it means that the ideas, the topics are sometimes off the usual. You can also show the Anchor logo on the cover art, just like here. And you can also turn that off so it won't appear. And also, you can show voice message button on the profile. Later on, I'll be showing voice messages. Okay? So let's go back again to the dashboard. Okay. Loading up. There you go. All right. So you can see here that there are 7 platforms where the podcast is being published. So you could see Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. Okay? But there are others that you can manually distribute your podcast. And again, this is for free. Okay? You can do it as well with Apple Podcasts and with Castbox. There's other advanced setting in here. Okay? There's also some connect codes and a URL. Okay? Wherein you can attach your podcast to another podcast. Maybe if you got a friend that you would like other listeners to listen. For example, I got my own podcast, Armin got his own podcast. We can put the URL of his podcast here. All right, let's go back again to the dashboard. All right, once again, we are still on the dashboard. I'm just showing to you the different tabs that you can use. Okay, and next of the view public site. If you click the view public site, you will be brought to the actual view of your podcast when other people are visiting it. So if you wish to visit my podcast, you can just type in anchor.fm/inspiring educators. Okay, let me share it with you. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Okay, there you go. And then I'll go back again and share my screen. All right, perfect. So this is the view. Okay, you would see here, you could listen it to Spotify. You can even send a voice message to me directly. And you can also play a trailer. When we say trailer, this is a preview of what my podcast is all about. And all the episodes, including the latest episode, again, I'm promoting the podcast episode of Sujit. Kindly listen to this one. It is a very informative podcast. And all the podcasts that I've got is listed in the view page. Okay? Okay, my my mouse is really playing up. I don't know why it keeps on playing up right now. There you go. Okay, and then again, just click the dashboard so you will be brought to the dashboard of your page. Okay, so when you're presenting to your students, all you need to do is just to click the dashboard. You don't need to click the back on your browser. Just click the dashboard. You'll be brought back to the main page. Okay, now let's go with the statistics. A while ago, I mentioned that there is a detailed but user-friendly statistics. So as you can see, my podcast has been played for 597 times. And my estimated audience per episode is 14. I have 16 unique listeners for the past 7 days. And the actual balance, okay, since this is only available in the United States, it doesn't appear here in the Philippines, okay? So you could also see the performance of your podcast. You could either select it today, yesterday, last 7 days, last 30 days, last 90 days, and all time, all right? Or you can choose your own date range. Let's have a look at all time so that you can see. All right, so it went peak during October 22nd to October 28th. Top 3 episodes that I got, the Internet Live, I think this is with James Buckmeyer of Brazil. 16th episode with Josh Gaston. And 17th episode, I think this is with Juliana Vasquez from Panama. And it also went peak again on the 3rd of December until the 9th of December. The Internet Live, I think this one is with Sujit. Again, the Internet Live with the students of LSPU Los Baños here in the Philippines. And again, the Internet Live, I think this one is with Waida and Juliana. Waida is from Egypt and Juliana is from Panama. So you could see here the performance of your podcast. If you're not a big fan of line graph, we also have a bar graph in here. So you would see how does each episode hits or works. You could also see your listeners, the top listeners. As you can see here, most of my fellows from the United States listen to the podcast I made. my Filipino friends, colleagues, friends from Panama, and I'm so happy that Nepal made it to the top four. All right, thanks to Sujit, of course, for gracing in one of my podcasts. So Nepal is on fourth. Okay, guys, I want you to hit at least the third spot. Okay, so go ahead and listen to the podcast. You could also see the platforms where the podcast can be listened to. So most of the listeners are enjoying it via Anchor. Oh, there are lots of iPhone users who's using it through Apple Podcasts. Third is with Spotify. And also you could see here devices. Most of my listeners are using the web or the internet. And next is iPhone, and 48% are using other devices. This includes other brands of mobile phone. All right. Also, you can see the gender of your listeners. So 39% of my listeners were mostly female. Up, oh my God, this is really getting great. They are equal, okay? 39 female listeners, 39% male listeners, but there are 21% who didn't put their gender, okay? The ones who are checking this would be in Spotify because you're making an account on Spotify, so they know, oh, you're a male, you're a female listener. And also there is the age bracket. Currently, at top now is 35 to 44 years old, which is 43%. Next would be 28 to 34 years old, 21%, and 23 to 27 years old, 21%. So this is what you can see in the dashboard. So I guess you are excited on the next other tabs. Let's go with the episodes, all right? When you click the episodes tab, you will be brought to the episodes that you've just made. As you can see at the upmost part would be the latest one. Okay, the internet live, according to Suji. You would see there how long the podcast is, how many plays it got. Oh my God, gosh. Congratulations. I think Sujit, you are, yeah, I think you are the top. Oh, not yet. Second to the top, Sujit, okay? Juliana is still taking the top with 47 plays already. Okay. And after the plays, just give me one moment, guys, again. My mouse keeps playing up. Okay. After the plays, there is also the ads. Okay. These ads are the ones where you get monetized. Okay. You can add one ad or two ads. You can insert it in every part of your podcast. But for me, I'm just putting one ad. And I don't consider it as an ad. Why? I use it to promote Anchor app. I'm promoting Anchor so that all the educators, all the people from around the globe can enjoy expressing themselves using their own mobile phone. And besides, using podcast is much more, how will I say this? You could save much more data because you're just using audio. And you can also save your data because you don't need any videos in here. Pure audio when doing this. And you could see here the date when it was published. And of course, you can still edit your podcast episode by simply clicking these three circles, okay? There's view episode details, copy publish link. This is what I usually do. With the episode of Sujit, what I did is I just copied the public link and then I posted it to Facebook. I just shared the link to Sujit so that he can also share it. You can also download the episode just like with the video or the ads that I've shown to you. Most of the people in the United States, they just download the podcast and then they listen it during their free time. Or if you're a big fan, for example, you want to listen to a comedy podcast, you can just download all the episodes, listen to it, and then, enjoy it whenever you can. And there is also the delete episode. Okay, if you're not happy with the episode, you can just simply delete it. If you want to do it again and you don't want your listeners to see this, incorrect episode, just simply click delete episode. All right? So that is the content of the episodes tab. Okay, we'll skip in a while the new episode. Let's go first with the settings. With the settings, you can see the podcast, the name of your podcast, the distribution. This is where you will be sharing, or the ones that I've shown to you where you can share your podcast. The update settings, help, and the log out button. Okay? When you click the update settings, you are updating the podcast itself. Remember when I started, I've shown to you these informations. When you go here, you could update the name of your podcast. What is the description of your podcast? The cover art of your podcast, the category and the language. And this time, you can change the informations, the name, the email address, the URL, okay? This URL is the one that we put in our browser, okay? What I did, I just used the name of my podcast, Inspiring Educators. And also, if you are technical, you can also change the color, okay? For those who are technical, you can change the color. And you can connect it with your Twitter, your Instagram. If you got a YouTube channel, you can connect it. And also you can connect it to your Facebook. I believe each and everyone has got Facebook accounts. And finally, if you're not happy with your podcast, and I hope that doesn't happen, you can delete your actual podcast account. But again, I don't want each and everyone to delete their account because I know that each podcast is special. Okay? Now, we'll provide. Okay, I think my mouse is playing up again. Technology. Sudden, this is really challenging. Technology nowadays. Okay, let's go with the new episode, the moment you've been waiting for. So when you click the new episode, let me do it again so that each and everyone can see. If you click new episode, you will be brought to the recording, as I call it, recording page. But as you can see, it is known as the create your episode. There are 4 important tabs in here: the record, the messages, the library, and the transitions. Of course, the record, this is where you will start your recording. So if you're using a computer, a desktop, or a laptop, you will be asked to choose which microphone will be used during the recording. So there are several microphones in here because most of my applications and my webcam has their own microphone. Okay, but for those who have only one microphone, make sure that you select the microphone, and then usually it is called Realtek High Definition Audio, or depend on the brand of your laptop. So choose that one. And then just click the start recording and the recording will happen, which we will do in a little bit. Okay? Let's go with the messages. With the messages, you can see the message that other people will be sending to you. The most recent message I got was from Minmaya Rana. I think she's from Nepal. Dr. Hussein Ahmed Litton. Okay, I think this was an educator from India. Armin loves to send message on every podcast that I made. Juliana sent a message as well. And a colleague as well from Brazil, Adriana Hernandez, sent a message because she got an episode as well in here. So again, the messages tab, this is where you will see all the voice messages that were sent to you. And then the library. The library will have all the podcasts you've made. Okay? You will have here the edited and the raw podcast that you've recorded. So when you see this icon, it means that it is edited. If there is the note icon on the actual recording, it means it is edited. And then you can add the background music, which I will show on to you later. You can add the episode or simply drag it on this part. And you can download the raw file or you can simply delete it. Okay? And finally, the transitions tab. The transitions tab is just like what you use in PowerPoint. There is a transition in PowerPoint, right? In Microsoft PowerPoint. But here in Anchor app, the transitions are audio. For example, this exclamation. Okay, that is one of the transitions that you can use. There's also this 96 West. Transition for your podcast episode. We also have a clue. Interesting, right? And other transition sounds. Okay, there are lots of transition sounds that you can choose from. Actually, I haven't checked all of them. Okay, so these are the 4 important tabs that you can use to make your own podcast. Okay, so I think I'm having a problem with the scroll of my mouse. I think I should not use it. Okay, so like I mentioned, we're gonna do our own podcast right now. So I'm just gonna be stop sharing first. Okay, and I'm gonna be doing a quick podcast with you guys. How to join with our students. Okay, so I'll be answering this one later on. Okay, don't you worry. I'll be more than happy to help you with this one. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Hello. Okay. I think there is a feedback, but I'm gonna be doing a quick podcast with you so that you can see how it is also being edited. Let me just turn off my camera for a while. Okay, there is a feedback. I can just be using this headset of mine. Can you still hear me, guys? Dev, can you hear me still?
Yeah, we are listening.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dev. Okay, so let's make a quick podcast. Okay, the idea of this podcast is for you to share Nepal, your country. You could share anything about your country, how beautiful Nepal is. You can share any thoughts. So I'll just be randomly calling, okay, participants in here. Okay, I hope that you would be able to share. And since we have a limited time, I might be calling at least, 4 or 5. So let me just do first. Okay, I guess I should just share it. Give me a second so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna be doing it, guys. Okay, so I click again the record, and then I choose the microphone. I'm gonna be using this microphone. This is the microphone I'm using right now. Okay, let's do a quick test first to see if the recording is really working. Okay, hello. Is my audio clear? Okay, I guess my audio is clear. Let's do a test record first. Good evening to all the Nepalese participants. This is Brian doing a test record. Okay, so after you record, this will show up. You will be brought to this page, okay, the library. And then you would see this is the one that I made. It's processing. Let's see. Good evening to all the Nepalese participants. This is Brian doing a test record. Perfect. So it's working. And then, like I mentioned, you can also add a background music on it. So just click, again, this music icon, and then you will be brought to this page where you could see different background music. I'm a big fan of cheerful music, and I fell in love with this Rue Severin. Listen to it. It's a very lovely guitar chord. That's why I usually use this to my podcast. So if you are decided after listening to your background music, you just need to click this one. You can adjust the volume. And once you are decided, just click apply. And there will be another processing recording. And you would just see that it is the one with the background music if there is this note icon. So as you would listen to this one, good evening to all the Nepalese participants. This is Brian doing a test record. Perfect, right? There is already a background music for the recording that I've just made. So Brian, you might ask me, how can I start doing it? So once you've done adding a background music, you've edited it, you can click the add episode. It would be brought here. Or, let's remove it, okay? Or you can drag it. There you go. So you have two options, drag or click. And like I mentioned, since I've been doing this podcast for almost 4 or 5 months, I've got the add a sponsored segment. So once you have this option, you just need to click it. It would be automatically add at the start of your podcast. So if you're interested, what does it say? Let's play it. Okay, this is only 17 seconds. Listen to it. Okay, I think it's not playing yet because this is the sponsored. Let me... Okay. I think it would not play here in the actual part of editing. Okay, so let's remove this episode and then I'll remove the ones that I've made right now. Okay, I'm not sure what is this. Oh, this is the recording. A while ago, I was trying to test my audio. By the way, sorry if you're hearing me like a robot because I'm using a equalizer in here so that it would be audible. Okay. So now, like I've said, I'm going to be doing a quick podcast. So I'll just be calling random people in here. But I guess you know who I'll be calling. Okay. So I'll start with my podcast by doing my intro speech. Okay. Sujit is familiar with this already. So I just told him that I'll be doing an intro speech first before I interview you. So I'll be doing it as well. So we'll be starting in 3, 2, and 1. Good evening to all my podcast listeners. This is Brian again, your host for Inspiring Educators. And tonight, I got a very special episode. I am with all the Nepalese teachers here, including the STFT, wherein we're having our webinar on podcasting powered by Anchor app. I've asked all the participants right now to share some informations about their lovely country, Nepal. So I'll be starting off first with Mr. Deb Prasad Pandit. Hello, Deb. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I am fine. We all are fine, Brian.
That's so wonderful, Deb. Deb, I would like to ask you, okay, can you share something about Nepal?
Yeah, it is a small country of Asia. It is between two big countries, India and China. Recently, I can't share the video, Brian. I'm just talking about Nepal. There are so many languages spoken in Nepal. According to latest census, nearly 123 languages are spoken in Nepal.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Deb. If only podcasting can have video as you've listened, my dear listeners, Deb will be sharing wonderful videos. But again, that quick preview made us interested with your country, Deb. Let's call on now. Oh, by the way, thank you so much with that one, Deb. Let's call on Mr. Srikanta Podel. Mr. Podel?
Srikanta, sir.
Yes, hello. I'm here.
Hi, Mr. Podel. Can you share something about your beautiful country, Nepal, please?
Wow, my country is very beautiful. As Dev sir said, it is one of the Asian country, and the highest mountain, Mount Everest, lies in Nepal, and we have different culture and different biodiversity is found in Nepal. Especially Nepal is one of the tourism country, and it's Hindu country as well. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Podel. Okay, and as you know, my listeners they got excited so much when they heard that. Oh my God, we almost forgot that Mount Everest is located in Nepal. Thank you for reminding us. That's really great. All right, let's call on this time Mr. Nabin Kandel. Mr. Nabin?
Navin Kandel, sir.
Navin Kandel, okay. Navin Kandel, sir. Navin, sir?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Hi, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Sir, we would like to know more about Nepal. Can you share other facts about your marvelous country, please?
Yes, sir. Nepal is a very beautiful country, as described our previous friends. Here is a very beautiful place and beautiful tourism place as beautiful temples and extra. So in various ways, Nepal is a small country, but is very beautiful in environmental.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Mr. Nabin Kendall, for that one. All right. So you mentioned that Nepal has lots of temples as well. So really interesting to visit. Okay. And let's have a female, okay, participant here. Let's have a look with the list. To my dear listeners, I have 88 participants right now. So this would be really interesting to have a look. Okay, I'm looking for female participant in here. All right, I think I found one Okay, apologies if I could not pronounce your name correctly, madam, but I would like to hear from Shakuntala Koirala. Was that Shakuntala? Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. I listen your class. It's very nice. I have to tell about Nepal.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay, my country Nepal is a beautiful landlocked country. It has several cultural and ethnic groups. It has several religions and has many natural beauties, including the highest peak in the world, that is Mount Everest. And there are so many lovely places to visit, like you foreigner. Thank you, sir.
You're much more welcome, Miss Shakuntala Koirala. Apologies if I wasn't able to pronounce it correctly, but you're
Thank you,
in.
sir. It's nice pronunciation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, so I guess I still got one more because I'm just getting started. Actually, whenever I'm doing my podcast, I get so excited that I don't want to stop on it. Let's also call in, let's look for another female participant in here. I think Shanti Adhikari.
Yes,
Was that
Santi Adhikari, ma'am.
Shanti, yeah. Is she in here, Dev?
Yeah. Santi Adhikari, ma'am.
Dev sir, I think so. We have to unmute her.
I'm searching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm searching her. We have to unmute here. Santi. She is from Chiton.
Hi, Santi.
Yes,
Hi, good evening. How are you?
fine, Brian. I'm quite fine. Absolutely fine, Brian. And nice to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure is mine in meeting all you wonderful peoples of Nepal. So, ma'am, I would like to ask, how can you describe your country to a foreign people? Let's say, how can you describe Nepal to me?
Thank you, sir, for giving me the chance to talk about my country. It is quite a beautiful country, and I cannot express in word, as you know that. And it has so many natural resources, and we are rich in cultural heritage as well. And you can see lots of beautiful places here if you are willing. And we are also very much interested to show you just like a very dignified guest here in Nepal. Thank you, Brian.
You're much more welcome, Miss Shanti. All right, this is awesome. And before I end up this special episode of Inspiring Educators, I would just like to greet some of my colleagues who were with me when we are learning this podcast. A while ago, I saw my colleague from Egypt, Huwaida, but I think she had some technical issues.
And Juliana is also with us. Juliana.
Yes. Juliana Vasquez, a good
hello,
friend.
Hello. Nice to be here chatting with you all. Fine. How about you? Well, I guess you are okay. Nice presentation, Brian.
Oh, thank you so much. Without your help, guys, without your wonderful episode, actually, Juliana, I'll take this opportunity to congratulate you because you're still the #1 episode for Inspiring Educators.
Wow, that's fantastic. Fabulous.
Yeah, you still got the top spot, Juliana. And next to you is our good friend here, Sujit. Okay, he's trying to catch up. Okay, he got 41.
Oh, glad to know that, Brian. Thanks so much for that opportunity.
You're much more welcome. To share with you, all my Nepalese friends, okay? Juliana is one of my colleagues for the digital literacy learning team. And her students in Panama were really awesome. One of them will be Olmedo Morales, okay? He's really an intelligent guy. And I guess all her students were really proud because Juliana is not just your typical teacher. She uses the technologies that she've learned from each and everyone. All right. So kudos to your wonderful advocacies, Juliana.
Yeah. And I think in coming week, at the same time, we are going to host a session with her. I think that will be about Flipgrid, and she will be there at the same time after a week in next weekend.
Wow, that's great to hear, Laxman. I'm so interested. And again, before I end up, okay, because Laxman already, come in, okay? Sir Laxman, I would like to ask few words from you before I end this podcast. So, what is the best thing that Nepal can give when it comes to education?
Okay, I think if you discuss about Nepal, many our friends have discussed its natural beauty and its landscape, its language, and so on. But I think because of this COVID-19, most of the teachers are unable to join the regular classes, and they are in their home and they are running their classes using different applications like Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, and so on. So I think if we get this type of help with the glove, not only inside our country, from the different abroad countries and facilitators, so I think we can do a little bit change, and that will be a turning point for the change of the country and for the paradigm shift. And then I think Nepal will be there at the top of this level, in which teachers can use different types of applications and platforms through which they can learn and they can make learn to the students.
Really wonderful, Mr. Lackman. Thank you very much. Okay. And once again, okay. All right. There are few of you guys who were really interested. Okay. So thank you for that one, Mr. Laxman. I'm just going to read some thoughts from other participants here. Okay. This one is from Bhakta Khadka. Okay. Mentioning that Nepal is the most beautiful country in the lap of high Himalayas. It is a landlocked country surrounded by India in three sides, south, east, and west, and China in its north. Famous for temples, biodiversities, cultural diversities, and ethnic cum linguistic diversities. Love that. Famous for tourism industries, Bedatar, Ilam, Hara, Palpa, different Durbar squares in Kathmandu are the some of the places for tourists from foreign countries. I would be listing this, all right? It is one of the safest destinations for tourists. Wow, that's great to hear. And Mount Everest, the top of the world, is with us here. You're welcome, Bacta, okay? And last, who is this one? Okay, oh, Yubraj Kapil. Yubraj?
Yeah, good evening, Brian.
Hi. So you mentioned you wanted to share something when it comes to the political, the political info of Nepal. Please go ahead, Yubraj, please.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Especially, I would like to thank STFT Nepal for this webinar, and especially I want to thank Brian for this wonderful presentation. Nepal, a small country, as everyone has, it lies between the big and powerful countries, India and China. Nepal is one of the federal democratic republican countries in the world. It is recently declared a federal democratic republic country, and as earlier it is said, Hindu country, now it has been declared a secular state. And it has been recently divided into 7 provinces with 77 districts. And it has been marching forward in the path of development with the new constitution promulgated recently in 2015. Thank you, Brian, for this opportunity. Thank you all.
Wonderful. It is complete package now. We got tourist destination, the people, and of course the government. Thank you so much to all of you Nepalese friends. I'm really honored to be the speaker of this one. All right. So to end up this podcast that I'm making right now, because this is just a special episode, I would like to thank again all the Nepalese participants. And as always, your Filipino educator friends will be more than happy to be part of your advocacies when it comes to education. So once again, this is your host, Brian, and thank you so much for listening to Inspiring Educators. I will be seeing you in my next episode. Okay, so I've just finished the actual podcast. I'll share the screen while I'm making it right now. Sorry if I got so excited whenever I'm doing podcasts. And I almost forgot. Someone mentioned, sorry, let me just quickly stop this. And Nepal is the birthplace of Lord Buddha. Yes, oh my God, I almost forgot to add that one, okay? Maybe I'll just be putting it at the description. Thank you so much for that one, Sukdev, all right? Okay. Oh, I'm just going to be sharing my screen again to you guys so that you can see how it really works. Okay. So now it is on the processing, okay? I think we've made around 17 minutes. To give you an idea, doing podcasts on your computer, either on your desktop or laptop, it will only give you 30 minutes, okay? After 30 minutes, it would be cut off. Compared to the Anchor app on your mobile, Anchor app on mobile is continuous. I haven't tried how long it is, but the longest was an hour, okay? And then I stopped the podcast, but I'm not pretty sure if it will go for a very long time, all right? Oh, yeah. The actual, it shows here it's 00 because it doesn't have right now. Okay, but if you'll be doing the record, it will only show that it would only last for 30 minutes for the desktop. Okay, but if you're gonna be using your mobile to do the recording, it is unlimited. Okay, because I haven't tried how long it would be. Okay, so here, this is the episode that we've just made, and I'm gonna be adding a background music. Again, I've mentioned I'm a big fan of cheerful music. I'm going to be adding Rue Severin, Apply It, another processing, okay? Don't you worry, guys. We're almost done, okay? I'm just right now in the mood of doing the podcast. Usually, after I did an episode, my blood is pumping up, okay? I'm so excited to continue the work. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes. Then later on, I'm just going to be answering some questions regarding how you can join your students, okay? That would be possible on your Anchor app on your mobile phone, okay? There is a feature where you can add your students, okay? However, a tip, okay? What I usually do is I contact my guests through Zoom, okay? And then I will do the recording either on my mobile phone or on the computer, the one that I'm showing to you. Okay? So that's how I usually conduct my podcast with students, with resource speakers, or with friends. Okay, so this is the episode. Actually, I wouldn't play this with you right now. It would be a surprise. I'll just be sending the link to Sujit and to, I think it was you, Dev, who messaged me, right? In Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be sending the link to you later on. The episode will be a surprise first, okay? So once you are done editing it, again, you can simply drag it, and then I'll be putting here the sponsored segment so that everyone can listen how Anchor really works, how it changed our life as an educator. And once you're done, save episode, okay? And then you will be brought to the episode option where you can add the title, you can put the description, you can also choose when to publish it. Okay, actually, I'll be publishing it after this webinar we're doing. You can, again, change the cover art, add the season number, the episode number. It can be a trailer, or a bonus. Of course, this would be a bonus, okay? And then the content, either clean or explicit. Of course, we are all professionals here, so I'll just select clean. Once I'm done doing that, I'm just going to be clicking the publish now. And once the episode has been published, it would appear on the episodes tab. All right? So that's how podcasting works. That's how simple podcasting makes us a better educator. And I'm going to be looking for some questions right now because I really respect your time. I've learned this with Armen, okay? The act of respecting each and everyone's time. So I'm looking for questions right now. And I think I've answered the question regarding how you join your students. Can we edit recording? Yes, you can still edit it, okay? You can edit the recording. Let me just share it again. Thank you for that question. Let's go back. Okay, I'll just save this as a draft. Oh my. What's happened? I'll just put an episode. Nepal episode. Give me a second, guys. Nepal. I hope this saves it. Okay. Episode description. Wonderful episode with and come on, please save. Okay, so as you save the draft, okay, it's not yet published. Okay, you can still edit it. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to show, the edit audio. Okay, so if you wish to edit the audio, okay, where was that? I almost forgot it because I rarely edit my audio. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, I think I missed that. Where is the edit option? Just give me 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay. Okay, it's in, oh yeah, I remember, in the library. There should be the trim. Give me 1 second. Okay, I really love my mouse right now. It's playing up during the middle of a presentation. Oh, Dev, someone is asking if the attendance is necessary. Not quite sure.
Yeah, attendance link is there. You are requested to fill up the form here. The link is provided by Tika sir. Thank you, Tika sir. You can fill up the form there. Yes, Bryant, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah, thank you, Dev. Okay, I'm trying to look for the edit option of the audio right now.
Yeah, your screen is not shared.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was trying to look the actual edit option where you can trim. Okay, there is a function here that you can trim the the actual recording, but it's not showing on my end right now. Let me try it in here. It should be here. Oh, there you go. Whew. Just got mixed up, okay? So once you've added, okay, this is the episode that we made, guys. So once it is on this part of the create episode, just click the three circles, as I usually call it. And then there is the edit audio. Okay? So you will be brought to the edit audio screen, wherein you can do a split. Okay? Usually it takes time. Okay? Depends on your computer. Okay? My computer is not that new. I just keep on upgrading it. And here, you can either split it. Where is that? Okay, there. And then you can just click the split. So it would be splitted and it would create another audio. All right? And you can remove the other, if there's unnecessary info you've added, if there are some noises. So you can simply do it in this part. Okay? So I'll just cancel it, okay? Because I really love raw recordings. When I say raw, the actual recordings, because I have this kind of saying that the raw are the most important. Those are the real informations. Okay? Other questions? Thank you for that question, Mahesh Ward.
Yeah.
So you can edit it, okay?
I think there are not other questions.
No more questions. Oh, by the way.
About edit the recording, yeah? That is
I almost forgot to tell Dev. The edit option will be only applicable on the desktop or on the website itself, okay? Because on the mobile, it would act as a simple recorder. But you will have there the record, the message, the library, and the transition. But the actual editing, that is only applicable in the desktop or the laptop or the website. How many days does I think this is not a question for me. This is for you, Dev, I think.
Yeah.
So that will be it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. Oh, there am I. Hello.
Thank you
so much, guys.
Brian, for your wonderful session. Now
Yes,
it's time. We are going to share.
Yes, sir, I think we need to. I want to disturb you a little bit. Juliana is there, and next week we are going to conduct a session with her. So I think it will be better if we provide her 2 minutes of time.
Yeah.
And then she will mention some matter about our coming session.
Yes, Juliana. What is the coming session about? Please give brief introduction about your session, Juliana. Now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Juliana, please go ahead.
Okay, now. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm Juliana Vasquez from Universidad de Panama. And you invited me to participate with you in another session. We are going to be covering Flipgrid as an app to make our classes more motivating for students. This is all related to recording audios and giving responses to other colleagues or other classmates in the case of students. So that's what we are going to be doing in the following session. Any question you have?
I think
it's okay.
No more queries about your session. We'll discuss on your session as well on that particular day. Now it's time I am going to share the certificate of facilitator. I'd like to request Naveen Kandel sir to read the certificate, and I will hand over this certificate to Brand Atencia I will send it in your Gmail, Brian. Naveen sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Society of Technology Friendly Teachers, Nepal, Certificate of Participation. This certificate is awarded to Brand Inertia for volunteering the time, effort as a facilitator to conduct the session entire producting in the new normal powered by Anchor for teacher organized by STFT Nepal English Subject Committee on December 19, 2020. We take this opportunity to thank you for your significant contribution to our organization. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Really
And now,
appreciate that.
I'd like to request Brian to read the certificate for the participants. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will show the certificate. Then you can read it.
Sure. No problems then.
Can you see it?
Yeah, there you go. All right. So let me read it for each and everyone, for all the participants here. So the Society of Technology Friendly Teachers Nepal, this certificate of participation is awarded to all the participants from Nepal for your active participation in the session entitled Podcasting in the New Normal powered by Anchor on December 19, 2020. We thank you for your valuable presence in the international webinar. This is signed by your key speaker, by the webinar moderator, Deb Prasad Pandit, for the coordinator, Shrikanta Podel, and the Vice President of STFT Nepal, Nabin Kandel. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Brian. Now it's time to express feedback from the participants. I'd like to request Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir to express your views as well as to give feedback about the session. Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir.
Krishna sir, I think his audio is not working properly. So can we go to the next participant, please?
Yes, Sakuntala ma'am is here. Sakuntala ma'am, yes, you are requested to give feedback about the session.
Thank you, Dev sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. You are fully audible.
Honorable Chairperson, the President of STFT Gandaki Province, Narayan sir, respected Chief Guest, the Vice President of STFT Nepal Central Committee, Navin sir, special guest STFT Central Committee President, respected Bhupati Basal sir, special guest and today's presenter, and the ELT expert of Philippines, Brand Atencia sir, all the valued person of STFT Nepal Central Committee, including provincial and district levels president and other active members, respected facilitator from America, I have seen Armin sir, all the participants from Nepal and different country of the world. First of all, I would like to say namaskar and warm greetings to everyone. Today, I am very happy by getting the chance to pour my short views over such beautiful and valued persons. Thank you, Dev sir, for this great opportunity. I would like to congratulate and thank Brand Atencia for this beautiful and interactive as well as interesting session. As I am one of the active member of STFT and participant, I want to say that I'm very much proud of being a part of it. Nowadays, STFT English Committee has been conducting such kind of international webinar with cooperation of international intellectuals. Many of us had previously attended in the session of Armin sir and Dr. Gina madam about using Padlet and Quizlet. They were so interactive for teaching and learning. Today's session is almost all new for me. That is podcasting and the new powered by Anchor. Though I have learned many things that I will use the technique to make interactive teaching materials. Thank you, STFT English Committee, for conducting such international program so that I, including many teachers from Nepal and from different countries, could grab opportunity in the pandemic situation. STFT is being a great platform for all teachers who are eagerly hungry of learning for teaching online with effective way. Thank you, Brian sir. It was more excited season 2, and thank you all valued person. It was very much effective session for me. It would be more effective if it was a bit more interactive too. Thank you. I want to express my intention to the presenter to continue such programs with us furthermore. Once again, thank you so much all for this great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakuntala madam, for your
Dev sir.
sweet and very nice feedback. Yes.
Dev sir.
Yes, sir.
Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir is there, and he has been already requested to put his views and feedback, please.
Yeah, Krishna sir.
Give him.
Now, I would like to request Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir to give feedback as well as comments about the session. Krishna sir. Krishna Prasad Lamsal. Krishna Kumar Dal sir is with us. I'd like to request Krishna Kumar Dal sir. Krishna sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Respected Chairperson, Chief Mr. Naveen Kandel, STFT Vice President, distinguished guest, STFT dignitaries, presenter, guest, host, co-host, and all the participants around the globe. Thank you for letting me an opportunity to share my feelings about the session. It's exciting to participate in an international webinar like this. I find this session fruitful. Mr. Brian's presentation is precise and straightforward. I believe everybody is benefited from this inspiring session to promote digital literacy. Thank you, Brian, ELT Experts, and STFT English Teachers Committee for this wonderful report. I hope we will have more programs like this in coming days. Thank you once again to STFT community for bridging Nepalese teachers with international ELT experts. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna sir. Now, Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir is with us. I would like to request Krishna Prasad Lamsal sir to give feedback about the session.
Can you hear me, sir, now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dev sir, for letting me have my opinion on tonight's program. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all, and a huge thanks to our guest and presenter, Mr. Brian Atinsha. We watched you intently with a lot of attention as you're presenting on the importance and relevance of podcasting in the present day situation. And you told us about the use of the app Anchor in detail with step-by-step procedures. But the occasional inaudibility of your voice was slightly frustrating though. We watched you carefully with interest. Today's time, in my opinion, was a huge success. We invited you and you heartily accepted our offer. You came and delivered and we benefited hugely. Both your presence and the presentation were really amazing. We made an effort to invite other friends and colleagues along through mutual acquaintance, and they appeared from across the country. And I can confidently say that you inspired all of us, and we learned a lot from you. We promise you that we will inspire confidence in our daily lives as well. You gave us incredible ideas and techniques, which will certainly help us choose the right materials in teaching and enhancing our knowledge by creating podcasts. And in the days to come, I and our whole team hope you will lend us a helping hand with various other new ideas, tips, and tricks. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Bryant, and thank you, the whole team. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Krishna sir, for your nice remarks. Now, I'd like to request Geeta Kafle ma'am to express vote of thanks to Bryant Atencia as well as all the participants. Geeta Kafle ma'am, she is the editor of Nandi Secondary School, Kathmandu. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dev sir. Dear valued participants, I'm not going to take much time because it's going to be late. Good evening to you all. Dev sir has already told, it's me Geeta Kafle, the principal of Sri Nandi Secondary School, Naxal, Kathmandu. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this webinar to all the participants gathered virtually here. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Naveen Karnel sir, the Vice President of STFT Nepal, who honored this program with his gracious presence. I would like to thank our amazing presenter, Mr. Bryant Atencia, ERT expert from Philippines, for his wonderful presentation on podcasting. We are really pleased with you and your inspirational presentation and promise that